On some appointments today, and I'm sitting in my office, and I was just doing my packet up for the evening, and I felt like I hadn't really talked to any of you for quite some time. It's been kind of chaotic. Who would have ever imagined that? I know we didn't. I knew that 2020 was going to be a critical year for our success and for our growth as an agency, and just bringing on a lot of agents, and getting them trained and getting them in the field. Growth wise, it was a critical year for us. Never did we anticipate that we would be getting hit by a pandemic and all the things that's going on in the world today. But we learned a lot from that, and that's a good thing. So every time you go through a challenge, you have to grow through that challenge, right? So we were able to figure out how to do virtual sales, which a lot of people weren't doing before COVID. That being said, this is still, I believe, a relationship business, face to face, kneecap to kneecap, and when I think the learning lesson that we learned through all that is, at the end of the day, you've got to meet your client where they want to be, where they feel more comfortable. And sometimes that's virtual, over a Zoom meeting, FaceTime meeting, whatever it is, Skype, whatever. Sometimes it's still face to face, kneecap to kneecap, even if that means you're wearing gloves, you're wearing a mask. Some of our agents are taking their own stool, and they're sitting out in the middle of a park, or they're sitting on the driveway, or they're sitting in the front yard. Whatever it takes to take care of the client, because the reality of it is like you've heard me say this before, is that there's nothing like a pandemic that scared the bejeebies out of people, and that's why life insurance was the number one rated term in the search engines back a few months ago when this thing was really rolling out. So that has really planted seeds in the soil for harvesting for our agents, and then it will last for probably many years to come. Some agents are taking advantage that others are fearful of going out into the field and taking care of clients. And I get that, but at the end of the day, that's what we do. We protect families. And it's our responsibility. It's almost like first responders, maybe not quite as critical, but pretty close. Somebody's going to die on our watch, and that family could be financially devastated. If they didn't meet with you as an agent or somebody and put that coverage in place and make sure their family's futures and dreams and of their children's is protected. So I think it is a first responder position. That's why we're considered an essential business. And I just thought I would turn the camera on and start talking today. I don't have a whole lot, really an outline or an agenda, except to say that it's a critical year for us. It's been our numbers are way up. We're looking to bring on agents and get agents. We do a very, very good job, I would say, to actually bring someone in that's struggling, that doesn't have training or support, and give them a structured program to follow. We're on the phone with them every day, working their cases, helping them handle objections on the phone, choosing products before they go out to the home, doing worksheets so they can run their rates. And all that stuff is very critical to an agent's success, whether you're new or not. I still do that. I still pre-qualify my clients before I go out. I've been doing it for many, many, many years. So, that's the thing. But I was looking at our stats for this past weekend, and I'm looking, and it just amazes me that some people just don't. Some people get it. Some people don't. Where else can you go for the cost of an insurance license and really set yourself up to own your income and stop renting your income? I think one of the things that I think everybody in this world learned in the past several months is that you don't own your income if somebody is able to take it away from you. And what I mean by that is that it wasn't a company that laid you off. It wasn't a company that closed. Well, not by their own fruition. They closed because the federal government told them to close. And you had 25 million people furloughed out of work immediately. Yeah, there was some stimulus money, but how can I be honest with you? I don't know anybody can live off the stimulus money. And it still doesn't mean no one wants any handouts. Most people want to go to work every day and earn their income. But again, it just shocked the world. Shocked people that had this mentality. And I've dealt with those kind of people all my life in terms of being an independent contractor. People are scared of that, and I need a salary, I need a company car, I need to own, I need job security. I need to know that I got a paycheck coming in, whether or not I work for it. I need to know I got just gave them that level of security. And now we know that, as I've been preaching for 35 years, is there's no security in job security. when the government can shut you down. Many people, I think the last number I saw was 13 million people are still out of work and furloughed. I went yesterday to get to go down to the local Starbucks here, and the GNC, is it GNC, that vitamin store owner right next door, who had her entire life savings in this franchise, was knocking on car windows and saying, "Hey, listen, we've closed permanently, and I've got some vitamins left in my inventory. Are you interested? Would you come over and maybe, make me an offer, and I'll make a deal. We got to get rid of the inventory." I mean, they're out of business forever, regardless of the stimulus program, regardless of the federal government, regardless of whatever part of that you want to be part of. They're not going to be back in business. And I love this whole attitude about, a stimulus check is going to keep you in business. It's not. And the federal government might be saying that they're stopping evictions. That may be true, but I've got a lot of friends right now that are shutting their doors, and they may be able to stop the sheriff from going out and evicting them out of that property, but the landlords are evicting people right now, and you can't blame them for that either, because they have a mortgage. In order to stop evictions, you got to put a moratorium on the banks to stop foreclosing on the commercial property, or the landlords are going to have to collect their rent. So anyway, that's not what I got in this video for, but what a mess to be in, and how grateful I am, and if you're in the business, you should be, for the fact that we still control our income every single day. The only thing that controls our income is our own activities, right? The ability to get up every morning, grab some leads, make some dials, book some appointments, do a little preparation, go out and see that family, sit kneecap to kneecap, or do a Zoom meeting or a FaceTime or whatever you got to do, and protect that family. And they asked you to call them. Right? It's not like we're cold calling and knocking on doors. We're not begging anybody to buy this product. They already want this product. They just ask for somebody to come out and explain it to them. Right? And so where else can you go and for the cost of an insurance license, a couple $100, and set yourself up to not only earn very, very high upfront commissions on what you do, but also the ability to earn income on some of those products that we sell, a residual income on some of those products that we sell, and look, I don't believe in forced recruiting. If you're in an organization that draws circles or tells you to make a list of your friends, family, and neighbors before you even get licensed, or even before, or better yet, before you even sell a product or a policy, you ought to run from that organization, because they're into that MLM structure type program where, it's all about recruiting and not about selling insurance and protecting families. And that's why I got in this business. So, but if you do decide to build an agency and you are willing to lead from the front and go out there and protect families, and you do own your income, and you can get promoted all the way up to the comp plan, the top contract rate that's out there, with only one thing as a criteria, which is not how many people that you bring in, and you go out and find 3, and they get 3, and they get 6. Forget all that stuff. It should be based on the value that you bring to the carriers, the insurance companies, not the IMO necessarily, but the insurance companies. And the value is how much premium you send them, whether it's you and your team or you only. That should be the criteria for your promotion. Okay? But again, I was looking at these, my notes this past week, and that my admin person handed me this morning. We had 5, 6, 7 people, range between $2,400 in premium written, 3 apps, to almost $9,000, $8,100 some odd, $8,200 on the weekend. So to pencil that out, if you're not in the business, you should get in the business. And if you're in the business and you're struggling, you should call me or email me or text me. But look at this. The top of it was $8,200. So in fairness, let's just say that it was $4,500. Okay? The average application, and that was for 7 apps, which is about right? Because the average application in the industry is $1,080 or $85 a month. So, and I've been saying that to you for several years on this channel. So if you wrote 7 apps, he did about $8,200. That's roughly right at about $1,000, just slightly over, which is exactly what I've been saying. So let's just cut that in half and say that person's stellar, and not average. But it's all about lead flow and activity. Success in this business, anybody can do anything. You can be a top earner, and you can earn nothing. It all comes down to leads and activity, lead flow and activity. Okay, excuse me. But look, let's just take $4,500. Okay, so $4,500 is roughly let's just say 4 applications. 4 applications is 2 families, basically. Okay? Or you could just say, if you want to write 4 applications, book yourself 6 to 8 appointments. If you run 50%, you'll come away with 4 applications. 4 applications average about $1,080, which would be right at $4,500, right? But remember, in this industry, if you're doing mortgage protection, it'd be 1 lead, right? But typically speaking, 2 sales, because each member of the family, husband and wife, partner, whatever you want to call it, will need a policy. In the event either one dies, the remaining spouse is covered. So 1 lead, 2 sales, right? 1 appointment. So $4,500. Let's just say you're at the 70% contract. Well, first of all, let's back up. $4,500. We have to be fair with the numbers. We don't get everything approved. Okay, our agency, we run about 78 to 81%. So let's just put down 78. Fair enough. We'll go right in the middle. 78%. For all of you who email me and told me that my math is wrong, usually it's because I don't have my glasses on. That's why I put them on. So 78%. That means $3,510 of premium. Of that premium, if you're at the 70% contract, they're going to pay you $2,457. That's your unearned commissions, because you don't earn it until they pay for 12 consecutive months, because you're being advanced 9 months. Okay. You get the whole commission, but they advance you 9 months, and they hold back 25% the remaining 3 months until they have paid their 9th payment. On payment number 10, they start divvying out that 3 months. Okay, so $2,457 is what you've earned. Now they're going to hold back the 25%, so you're going to get paid deposited next day in your bank account from Mutual Omaha, Transamerica, Foresters, whatever. All billion-dollar carriers that aren't going to go anywhere, so your money's secured. Your money should never, ever come from the IMO. It should come directly from the carrier, because that's your security that you're building up. Own your income, okay? Most highly regulated industry on the planet, so they're not going to steal your money as long as you're getting paid from the carrier, from the insurance company. So $1,842.75 for the weekend, okay? The weekend. How many people do you know that make $1,800 a week working 40 hours a week? I'm sure there's a lot of them out there, but not many. Okay? It's not average. Okay? So, but that's on a weekend. That means the other 5 days you could have another job. You could do this spare time or part-time. You could have something else going on full-time, right? And transition into this business full-time, because what you're doing, I guarantee, is not paying residual income. That's why it's rented income, because it can be taken away from you like that, okay? Let's just say you do this every weekend. That's $8,000 a month. I would consider setting 6 to 8 appointments on a weekend spare time, maybe part-time, okay? Multiply that by 12. That's $88,452 a year working another job, not a job, an opportunity, bite my tongue, part-time. $90,000 part-time. Now, you can either transition out of your full-time job, or if you love it that much, keep it. Or you can take the other 5 days and spend time with your family. Or, go golfing, go play with the grandkids, or your kids, hang out with your wife. Do things that you were born to do and put us on this earth to do, right? That might be going out there and protecting families, but I'm sure there's a higher calling that you were called to do outside the insurance business, okay? That you could be doing. Give your time to the church, give your time to the school, to a charity, whatever, okay? So that's really, I said I came here with no agenda. Here's what we do. We buy some leads, we make some dials, we book the appointments, we qualify the prospect on a product, we go out and meet them in the home, we do a virtual thing. I just saw a virtual sale come across this morning for, $3,000. Never left the house. Did it like I'm doing it right here on a camera, and took care of that family. $3,000, even if it was a 70% contract, it was a $2,000 hour and a half. Okay? But again, buy some leads, make some dials, book some appointments, qualify them on a product, write some apps, and do it again and again and again, and get a mentor and a coach that has a training program like this one behind me that you can plug into that will teach you the skills of this business. The people that fail in this business have no support, no training, no coach or mentor. I'm talking about a coach and mentor that actually does it and leads to the front, not somebody that's reading out of a book. Okay? And then, put your head down and be willing to be bad before you're good, and survive in this business. I've never seen anyone die of hard work, but I've seen a lot of people die of stress. Right? And this business can remove a large part of that. I don't know of any place you can go that's such a great feel-good opportunity than this business. My last appointment, I sat down, I went out there, it was about an hour drive, got in there, did my presentation, wrote 2 applications for $3,000 thereabouts or whatever, and then when I got done, I sat there and I was offered some Oreo cookies that their kids were eating, and we had a couple Oreo cookies. What a great way to spend your evening, right? And still have done something good that evening. I mean, it's so that's and of course the money's fantastic, right? So look. Men and women, I love this quote, men and women do not decide their future, their habits. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. And so many of us are wasting time doing things that can't get us where we're at. I heard a statistic the other day that I think like 80%, 78% of people hate their jobs, yet they go to that job every single day. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I'm committed right now, between now and the end of the year, this is our season in the industry, to help 8 people get licensed. That I'm going to work with personally, get licensed, right? Coach and mentor to succeed in this business, to sell 1 app a week, 2 apps a week, and be on a run rate of $60,000 to $80,000 annual income, and also be building residual income, and if you want, you can start that passive income stream. That's what my goal is. I don't know what your goals are, but listen, I get calls from many of you. Many of you, many of you have your own plans and your own thoughts, and you've been, sold some snake oil from these recruiters, and I would ask you to do your due diligence and find somebody that's leading from the front. And the question I would ask anybody is, look, would you be willing to look at an opportunity where you can be at a $60,000 to $80,000 net income run rate inside of 12 months with 0 capital and 0 fees? Your only investment is your license. That's it. And we have, I help people get their licenses, so we'll save you a substantial amount of money, and we'll eliminate that cost. As long as you're willing to be coachable, you have a burning desire to succeed, and you have a very strong work ethic, and you're not a quitter. You got to be in this thing for long enough to learn what it takes to succeed. You will not come in this thing, get a license, and be an instant hero. You might be, but you'll be suddenly awoke at some point when you find out that you're not as good as you think you are, and you got to step back and be willing to be bad before you're good and learn what it takes to succeed in this industry. So anyway, coachability I find to be a very odd thing. Many people think they're coachable until you start telling them what they're doing wrong. They're not so coachable anymore, right? But as long as you're working with somebody that has a tremendous amount of experience, proven success, and a time-tested and proven system you can plug into, get in the business. It won't get any better than it is right now. And as I always say, the surest way to not to fail is to be determined to never quit. Because if you quit, you're done. You quit. You got look. If you're willing to not quit, but be willing to fail, you'll eventually succeed. Go look at the inventor of the light bulbs, and everybody's ever had any great success. Had failure after failure after failure after failure. And then all of a sudden they figured it out and it changed the world. And this business is worth it. So anyway, I got to get my appointment. Appreciate you. If you haven't already done so, do me a favor and mash that subscribe button down there. It really helps the channel out, but what really helps the channel out more is that big thumbs up. And stay and watch. I mean, hopefully the content is good enough that you stay to the end, because that helps as well. But the big thumbs up makes a difference. Appreciate getting the thumbs up. Shoot, maybe some comments below. I do read every single comment, and I do reply to all of them within a couple of days. So get in the industry. This is the season. It's like I won't even say NFL because I'm not an NFL fan anymore. But this is the season for our business. So there's time for you to get in right now, make that decision, and get licensed and get going, get moving. And 2021 will be a phenomenal year, and you'll own your income, and you'll never be in this place again. Got a great book for you. It's called The Slight Edge: Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness by Jeff Olson, an old friend of mine. Appreciate you. Grateful that you're here, and thanks for supporting the channel. Bye-bye.